Welcome everyone to the Young Professional African Collective. I'm your host, Eberchio Bwaku. Here at YPAC, I talk to people doing work on the African continent or pertaining to the African continent. And today we have a very special guest, a very dynamic guest. And I hope you stick around, you share the video, you comment, you like, tell your friends about it. I know it's been so many different episodes and so many different topics. And today is another day of great conversation. So I want to welcome my guest, Miss Erada.
Hey, what girl. Up, though? Hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? You look good.
Thank you, girl.
Okay, period.
Thank you. Yes. Glasses and all.
You know.
Coordination.
You know, just a little something on.
I love it.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. One thing with YPAC, which I talked to so many different people, someone said, you get the most, eclectic group of, young Africans doing things. And it's I talk to people, find them interesting, invite them to the show, they agree. And it's literally, I don't know. I'm glad you're a part of this.
Ordained.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you're walking in alignment.
Amen.
Okay.
I'm just glad to, really have some great connections and really, allow people to, have this platform to talk. It's small, it's growing, but I feel like it's something that people are learning a lot from. Mm-hmm. And I know they're going to learn a lot from you today. Yeah. Let's start off with the icebreaker. Okay. So, Afrobeats.
Okay.
Or African music or whatnot. I know, Afrobeats is a subgenre of African music. Mm-hmm. Is there a song, I don't know, from the last 10 years or so, 20 years or so that kind of really speaks out to you and just really has a good memory for you?
Anything by Adekunle Gold and Semi Woman.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Semi Woman?
Yeah.
Hey, see me, God, that woman, put something.
That angelic voice.
Every day I go on Apple Music and I refresh her page, just hoping that she will bless us with something. New. Yes, mm-hmm. And I just feel like the marriage between her and AG is just so beautiful. I just love how they are, but even just musically, how different but similar they are. Mm-hmm. But her music touches not only the African woman in me, but she brings out this softness and femininity and strength that I feel like is missing at times when we talk about African music.
Okay.
In a sense of for some reason she makes me want to crawl up in a ball and cry while still feeling like I can be in the front of what do we call it, a war stage, and I'm leading a war stage. I don't know, she just has this strength about her that she just exudes when she sings in the song Woman.
Yeah.
I've written so many different shows and curated so many different shows in my head around that, and I can't wait till one day when I bring it to a fruition. But that song is a song that I listen to at least once a week.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of just how dynamic that couple is, there are times when it's I hear Adekunle Gold's song and it's I know that Simi that I hear
in the background. Yes,
with his too.
So
distinct. They're so different sounding, but it always just it's always a great harmony.
And she mixes some of his songs too as well because she's a producer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So she mixes some of his songs.
Nice.
So it's just a beautiful marriage. Musically, I can't speak on them personally because I don't know them. So, but it's musically, the marriage of both of them together, it's this is what we need.
This is what we need.
Yeah.
And I think he's coming out with new music soon.
Cannot wait. Yes, he's been dropping.
Yeah.
Coco money.
Oh man.
Attention. If you are not spending money.
Go.
Okay. Before we have a little Afrobeats break in here.
Right.
Yes. I agree.
I love that. So let's jump into getting to know you. And I think even with hearing what you were talking about with Simi, just how she makes you feel. It seems like that resonates with you professionally, personally, and the different things you do. So can you give us a little bit of background, where you're from, and whatever education you have?
Yeah. So I am born in Lagos, Nigeria. I was born in Egbeda. Um, Nigerians always make fun of the way I say that because my accent is so Americanized. Anyways,
You're here now.
you know, but I was born in Lagos. I lived in Lagos for predominantly all of my childhood. I moved to America when I was about 13, and I've lived from New York to Texas and now in Michigan. My background stems from I think I have a very entertainment for forward facing background. I always tell people when I was a kid I had my own cooking show. I used to perform, and educationally I have an international relations degree. I use it. I really wanted to be in politics. Like I really wanted to be in politics at one time in my life. And I
Okay.
might still end up there, but
Okay.
for right
Listen,
now,
life is
that's
long.
okay. This so
Mm-hmm.
that's a thing. And I've been an art curator. I've also founded an amazing organization called Chip Bag Project, where we upcycle potato chip bags into sleeping bags and other items for people who are displaced and nomadic.
Okay.
I've also served as a business coach for a couple of years for some really dynamic brands here in the United States. I've done just a lot of humanitarian work and received lots and lots of awards for it. But mostly, I think the thing that I want people to know me for is just being a person that cares for community first. I consider
Mm.
myself like a community resource, and I've spent the last almost 30 years proving what it means to be a community member.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's profound because, um, sure, in actuality, like, well, in reality, there's so many people, we're around each other. So there's community, sure. But when it comes to being a part of a community, in the sense of like more togetherness, in terms of it's not just you over here trying to live your life, but there's other people connecting. What does community mean to you?
Community is everything. Community is the reason why you're able to not only go to the places you go to, talk to the people you talk to, shop where you shop. If you did not have community, you have such a very boring and lonely existence. Community is the strength that allows you to reimagine the world as several different things because you're able to see so many diverse perspectives.
Yeah.
And community is, to me, one of the most integral part of your self identity. If you don't identify with a community, it's very difficult to figure out where you really fit in. There's so
Mm,
many people, even the word outlier is a community of its own, right? Because
that's
you
true.
have people who are like, I'm considered an outcast, but they fit into their own community within themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So community is this place of not only self identity, but safety, where you pull strength from, where you pull ideas from, where it's the fabric of not only your existence and your personhood, but also community is a thing that determines what you turn into.
Yeah. Ooh. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I believe that when they say like you're a product of your environment, people
Mm-hmm.
always say that in a negative connotation. I feel like, oh,
Right.
you're a
Yep.
product of your environment, trying to like
Usually.
put someone down.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to flip that in my head. Like, yes, I am a product of my environment. I'm very, 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 very Nigerian
Mm-hmm.
in almost every single thing that I do. I am also very, very, very Detroit
Yeah.
in almost every single thing that I do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I am a product of the resilience, the loudness, the boldness of being Nigerian.
Okay.
I am also a product of the innovativeness,
Yeah.
the creativeness, the celebrity status that
Mm-hmm.
Detroit is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I community is that, like, it's a product, it's an invitation for you to explore so many different identities, because within your community you can be so many different people. So I've got to be within my community an art curator, like I was saying. I've got to be a bartender.
That was
I've
cool.
I've got to be a teacher. I've been someone who was an entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur, who has worked a 9 to 5, who has been a student, who has been a friend. So because of community, I've got to cosplay as so many different things, and
Mm-hmm.
it's literally I am a product of that.
Yeah.
So
That's so interesting. Like the idea of the different roles you've done, like as a cosplay. Just because when you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
And it's like it can change from one thing to the next. And getting to explore all those different, interests that you have, I think is so amazing. One of the ones that like stuck out in my mind, you talked about you were, um, what were you doing? You were on with a chef, or you were
Oh yeah, I
traveling?
had my own, like when I was young.
You had your own cooking
Yeah, I had my
show.
own cooking show. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So when I was little, my family is really big into cooking.
Okay.
So when I was little, I would like my parents would just always, and my family would always describe me as someone who was just like very bubbly and just like very. I don't think I'm bubbly, but like that's how they describe me, especially as a young kid, and so and I lived in Delta State at that time, and they were shopping around. I forgot. I really don't know how the cooking show came about.
Okay.
But I just know that my mom and dad were like, "So yeah, they're gonna be some cameramen here every day, and they're gonna be shooting you cooking." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Could I cook? No.
Okay.
So what would happen is my sisters would cook the food. My older sisters would cook the food before they got there. And then they will watch me, in the process of me making it and learning how to make it, right? And that was just very interesting for me as a young person, because like I was just very young, and I was like, I tell my friends in school, I'm like, I have my own show. They be like, you're a liar. And I'm like, no, but really, but
there were cameras.
yes, but this is before the age of social media, so I couldn't be like, yeah, look at my house. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's like word of mouth type of thing, but it was really, really interesting. And I'm honestly wish, I keep telling my father we need to find footage of this, so that like I can add that to my biography one day, my autobiography, as well as like I was just like, I guess at one point in my life a really good dancer.
Okay.
And my favorite, I say one because now. Okay, I can leg work sometimes.
I was like, the leg work though.
Okay, leg work is in our bloods. That's different. That one is a cultural necessity. If you don't know how to leg work,
I've learned, but it took me a little bit longer, and it's just like, why is this so complicated? Can we go back to Shoki?
No, I mean, who?
I will still bust that thing out.
I do too. And yeah, I used to dance a lot. So my favorite artist as a kid was Labaja, which is he is a legendary Afro, I won't even call it Afrobeats, but he's a legendary just high life musician.
Okay.
And he used to wear a mask, and he had this one song called Coco Biloco Bil. Like I was obsessed with that song as a kid. Okay. Obsessed. So every time the sun would come on, I would put on a mask. And I would like he had this part of this woman that would wear a rapa, and she'd be like, "People, are you ready?" And I would do the song. Like, the fact that I still know this song, it's so funny. You really should. It's a really good song. And I would always do that. So it was one time we were at a birthday party because my family was like in politics, so we would go to like these dignitaries' birthday parties. So we were at one of them, and they were playing the song, and I just came out. You know when they would have like the dancing contest between the kids and stuff at birthday parties. So I just went out one day, and they were doing the song, and I grabbed the mic, and I was like, "Peep," and I was just dancing, and like everyone was like, "Hey!" It sprayed me money. And from there, someone asked me to come do it at another birthday party, and that's kind of just how that started for myself. Very organic.
This is what the cooking show sounded like too. Like your parents saw something and just like created that environment for you to keep going. Everything
in my life, honestly, has been divine orchestration of nothing from my doing or even Chip Back Project. There's nothing I've ever done in this world that I have said like, oh my God, I planned so much for, which I feel like has probably learned a disservice to some of the things that I want to do because things just happen to sometimes fall in my lap out of, I will say privilege. And I know that I grew up with privilege, that it's very hard sometimes to methodically plan for things because I'm always kind of waiting for them like, I'm about to go, you see, I want this thing. Usually you just
hand it right here.
You just put it right here. You're just like, I prepared a table for you, my daughter. Come and sit down. You know, but so that's really, really the story of a lot of my life is just me wanting to do something. And I've just been very privileged to not only know people, but always just have a passion for new things.
So tell me a little bit more about Chip Bag Project.
Yeah. So Chip Bag Project, like I said, we're upcycling. The I struggle with what to call it at times because it's more than a nonprofit. We're a social enterprise. We collect mylar from every single part of the world, as far as Singapore. We're one of the only people in the entire world who collect mylar and upcycles it in this way and capacity. So we do that. And when I started Chip Bag Project, I every single year for my birthday, I do something for the community, whether it's like, because my birthday is around Christmas. Okay. So I'll usually do like feeding the community or passing out items or even going to the hospital, reading for kids or something like that, sweet. Presents. Because I just like, I've always felt so privileged. And I feel like God put me on this earth again to be a community resource. So like I try to remind myself, not as a way to humble myself, but as a way to remind myself what it is to be a community member. So I use my birthday as a way of service. But anyway, so Chip Bag Project started with that during COVID. I was sitting in my house and I'm like, okay, I'm immunocompromised. I have asthma. I'm like, I can't be going outside just being in everybody's face. Hospitals not letting people in. Man, okay. Absolutely. I'm like, I can't go to food banks. I can't like do all the things I usually do. So it was around June, July, and I'm like, okay, what do I do, God? Like, I really want to do something. And I remember I was teaching virtually at the time, which I really hated. Okay. And my students were grade? Like, I was teaching, I think during COVID, I had 5th graders to 12th graders.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I understand. I can see that. I can see that.
When we were in class, great kids. Okay. Amazing. But just as they were distracted, Erada was distracted too. Okay. I wanted to lay in my bed and sleep.
And it was a weird time.
It was a weird. We were trying to, and that was like the first time like DPS has really even tried like remote learning. Yeah. Okay. So that, and so I was talking to my kids and they're like, Miss Erada, what do we do with our recycling and stuff? And I was like, okay, maybe you guys can start neighborhood recycling programs and like go around and teach the kids. So what I would do in my house, I would have all the kids that lived in my neighborhood. They will always come to my house during COVID, and we would sit outside. We'll either do water balloons one day, or we'll plant a garden, or we'll do all of these things, right? And so I was talking to them. They're like, Mr. Erada, so what do we do with chip bags? Like, and I remember just sitting there thinking, like, when I was a kid, we used to make chip bag wallets and rings. Like, me and my friend used to walk around like we had Super Bowl rings and shit with different, like, chip bags and stuff like that. And so in sitting there, I was like, I remember I was really in a space of not only contemplation, but also praying. And then I was like, okay, God, like, you know, what we're going to do for the birthday. And then I was scrolling, and I saw a woman in England who was making potato chip bags into blankets.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at it, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, it's so cool. And so I started to think about it. I'm like, okay, we can't do blankets here in Michigan because it's wet. Okay. And it's very, very cold. Yeah. Okay. And I've spent the betterment of 5 years prior to this as a place-based educator. So thinking and working with young people to come up with realistic solutions for the problems they face every day. So if I'm going to be doing something, like, I have to think about it realistically. What does it look like in this climate, right? And so I was like, okay, we can do a blanket, but how about sleeping bags? And I just got into camping really, really heavy at that time. So I was like, my brain was like in a camping mode, right? So cool. I was like, okay, but this was the biggest hiccup with chip bag. I don't eat chips. Okay. I don't eat candy.
Girl, what?
I don't drink Capri Suns.
Oh. What? I love all that.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't every single thing that is made from mylar, that shiny metal material. Interesting. I don't interact with on a everyday basis. Okay. So I'm calling all my friends. I'm like, yo, like, give me some chip bags. I'm trying to experiment, make the sleeping bag. And all my friends, I'm very, very thankful, and shout out to all of y'all. I love y'all so much, especially Tay. Thank you, best friend. Love you so much. Because I'm literally the kind of person that will wake up in the morning like, you know what, guys, let's make a rocket to the moon. And my friends would be like, all right, so what materials do we need? We need to go over there and go pick it up. So my friends are really good, especially my best friend. That's why I say shout out to Tay.
I love that.
And then my partner at the time, Daniel, because he was also so very, very helpful and like supportive in me turning our house into a chip bag collection site, basically.
Okay.
And so
Got
within
supply right
yes,
here,
supplies.
all things.
Like within, I put it on Facebook. I'm a Facebooker. I put it on Facebook. I was like, hey guys, I'm collecting chip bags. I want to make a sleeping bag. And people just started like, oh, I can send you some. I can send you some. This guy bought a sandwich shop and he had gave me all his chip bags and stuff like that.
That's nice.
And then within like 5 days, in my Facebook inbox was Fox News. They're like, we would love to put you on Fox News to talk about what you're doing with the chip bag collection. At that time, I had probably like 10 chip bags collected, period.
Oh, wow.
And so I remember I'm on air and like we're throwing the little chip bags on the ground. I'm picking it up, pretending like it's a whole lot.
Yeah.
And like just like that really started off very organically from something that I didn't know how to make the sleeping bag. There was no instruction video. So not only was I collecting, I was also inventing at the same time, right? And so chip bag really started off, and it was only supposed to last 6 months.
Okay.
I was like 6 months. I'll get 100 sleeping bags or 60 sleeping bags to 100. And we'll be done with this, and it'll be great, like great impact. Then I was on CNN.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay. And you know when you've made it as an African, when your mom calls you.
On CNN.
Okay, my mom called me.
She
said, Erada, hello, I'm at work right now. One of my coworkers just came and showed me that this girl with my same last name. And I look, and it was you. What are you doing on CNN? What are you telling these people today? I said, Mommy, it's just the cheap bag thing. She said, for potato chip bags that people have eaten and are throwing away. That's why I said, Mommy, see, look out.
CNN is pinnacle.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I was on there.
She said, what?
I was there.
Her friends.
Her friends. And then my mom's friends started to call me. People started to donate chip bags. Then I got a call from a potato chip bag company.
Okay.
And I think within our first 6 months, we had passed 60,000 pounds.
Okay.
Within a year, we're at 1 million pounds.
Whoa.
If you've ever touched a chip bag and you know it weighs
That's what
nothing.
to say. I don't even know what that would even look like.
Imagine this room filled to the brim, basically. So like literally something that was that started off as just an idea, just a little project has grown into something that, and I keep telling people that I am buying, looking for supplies to build a bike, going on YouTube to watch how to build a bike, trying to build a brand new bike, so using my brain and imagination at the same time, while learning how to ride a bike, while also making sure that I have legs to ride. Like I'm doing so much with this at the same time, and now we're 5 years in, we're almost at 3 million pounds, and we, you know,
congrats,
thank you so much. And we just got our state certification to be a hauler. So it's just like so many things that I didn't even know. Like I didn't know that I can charge people to collect their chip bags. I didn't know. I did not know. So what I always tell people is like, this was the biggest accident that I ever stepped into. I did not know that this would be this, and I didn't know that it would take me where it's taking me. And I didn't even know if I wanted to do this, and I still don't know. I think that's a journey. I don't want to tangent a bit, but yeah, that's chip bag. That's chip bag project. It's this baby that has now turned into its own machine that I'm having to figure out infrastructure in real time as I'm building it. And thanks to God that I've been able to have a great team, and now a great co-executive director in Jared Epps, who honestly, you, Jesus. About every other morning, I wake up in the morning and I say, thank you, Jesus, for Jared. Like,
shout out to Jared.
Shout out to Jared. Jared, you already know, but shout out to Jared. Shout out to Tay. Because again, my best friend has been doing this with me for 5 years.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Elisa, like, because Elisa started in year 1. like in the first couple of months in, and she's been almost 5 years in with us
Okay.
now too. So
Yeah,
shout out
yeah,
to all
yeah.
these people, and like really like thank you to Jared again, because the structure that we have right now would have not been possible without him. And not
Mm,
only has he built structure into something that we didn't even know what kind of structure it could have,
right.
he has also been patient enough to understand that it's not going to be all figured out in one day.
Okay.
And
I love that.
yeah, Chip Back Project is a story of resilience, and I
Mm-hmm.
and I feel 10 years down the line, I'll probably be having a different conversation about it. But for right now, thank God.
Thank God. I
Yeah.
love how the theme again of community pops up.
You see that? You see that?
Honestly, I see it. It's
Mm-hmm.
lit real quick,
Yeah.
real easily, because from a conversation that you were having with your students to then, a reel or something popped up, and it's like once it's like in, your ecosystem, and it's just like it just keeps showing up and keep popping up, and just you being in a space open and willing enough to listen to what you do with this,
And
and
no
then
ego.
no ego. You
No
put out
ego.
a call for
Yeah.
people to say like, hey, like, just collecting a few chip bags, this and
Mm-hmm.
the other, and just how people poured into it. So
Yeah.
I love to see that, and I love to see just like you being in a position where it's just like, hey, this is where it is. You thought what was gonna end in 6 months.
5 years.
It's 5 years later.
Yeah.
Um,
And still learning.
and still learning.
Yeah.
What has been, I guess, some of the challenges or biggest lessons that you've learned?
I can charge people.
Okay.
Like, not in the sense of like this is the model for charging,
Mm-hmm.
but I have the autonomy, the authority, and the right to charge people for the ideas that I have, right?
Yeah.
I used to feel so guilty. In the beginning, I had people like offering money. And I
Okay.
used to be like, no, this is a community. Because
Yeah.
at that point, like, every single community project I've done has been self funded.
Okay.
So I just did not know that there was a model for that. And that has been the biggest struggle. Even now, like, because this is the first of its kind, there is no other model to look back and see viability on it. So like a lot of
Yeah.
people don't even know how financially viable it
I see
is,
that.
right? Because there's nothing else to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's nothing else to compare it to, we get rejected so much for funding. We
Okay.
get rejected. I've seen so many no's
Yeah.
that when I even apply for a grant now, I'm just like,
We'll see how this goes.
you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna we'll toss it
Wow.
out there because yeah. So that's been the biggest issue is money, space. Like I said, we have 3 million pounds and space. Like
Mm-hmm.
even space that the kind of space that we need. We
Yeah.
don't even have the money to afford it,
Okay.
right? So that's been one of the biggest challenges, and I've also and also being very honest about where we are has been the biggest challenge because when you start something so organically and it grows so organically, where um, I'm on CNN. I'm doing Al Jazeera News. I'm on Good Morning Canada, or Good Morning Quebec, or whatever it was. I'm on Yahoo. Yahoo did a documentary on me,
That's amazing.
and thank you. And all of these things are happening, right? It is so embarrassing
Okay.
at that moment to go out and say, "Hey, y'all. So we're broke.
Okay.
I don't know how to get us out this hole.
Okay.
I am making a lot of mistakes
Mm-hmm.
and I'm lost." Like
Oh wow.
that has probably been one of the most difficult things. Getting the executive director was very hard.
Yeah. Okay.
It was very, very hard. One as a black woman
Yeah.
and having people constantly undermine your authority and your knowledge power, like wanting to now have a man come into this space and run this with me, that was very difficult for me.
Okay.
And I'm making a lot of mistakes,
Okay.
and being able to actually publicly, like, this is probably the first time I'm ever saying, like,
Okay.
I'm making so many mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and I pray to God in heaven that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I can look back and say, this is a case study
Amen.
of what to do, and not a case study of how all things can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's like, because there is no model to follow, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. So,
Okay.
I'm having this thing called blind trust. Like, I'm putting all my faith and all my trust in this. And that is the most difficult thing. I'm a person who's used to, like I was telling you, just having a table prepared in front of me.
I see.
So having to prepare the table, put the stuff on the table, and then have faith in God that the things don't go rotten before people, arrive to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's so honest and so important for people to hear, because not everything is honky dory. Such a funny term. Not everything is going to be so easy. Not everything is going to be, a passion project that has no hiccups. I think a lot of people realize that, but it's still like always like really important to hear, because, sure, like it started off organically, but there, now you're in it. You're fully invested and you want it to succeed. But it's also like, okay, the realities of, different times and, figuring out the pivots and whatnot. And I think it's important for people to recognize that it does take, a pivot. It does take a different way of thinking about things, bringing on different people, expanding the community, maybe in a way that you didn't necessarily anticipate at first. But like you said, like this case study, the testimony that's going to come from this is going to be amazing.
Yes, I'm believing that.
Yeah.
I really do believe in the power of community. We're in such a place too with this that there is no turning back, and it has to work.
Okay.
And because it has to work, I am doing everything I can to make it work. I'm coming up with ideas that I didn't even know were possible to add to this, right? And it's very necessary. And I honestly really want to talk to people. And I love that we were having the conversation before we started filming about what kind of content I should put out, right? Because I keep trying to tell people, I go online all the time and I'm just seeing all these amazing stories about, oh yeah, this is how I made my first million and da da da. And not to get you wrong, like we've made over 200K. Like it's not, like we're not, but 200K for a project that is estimated that needs about 1.5 million to run yearly. It's nothing. That's like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That is nothing. That we can't pay people.
Yeah.
It's so much. And this is the side of entrepreneurship that people talk about after they've kind of crossed over it. And this is the side of entrepreneurship that people don't like to talk about, because for them it feels as if they're a failure. And every day I do wake up and I feel like I'm like, God, and oh, wow, I'm being so vulnerable today. But like, I feel like I'll be like, God, am I making a mistake?
Okay.
Like, did I, like, was I supposed to do this? Am I doing the right thing? And I've woken up, and I remember I slept in camp in Nigeria, in a Redeem camp, and I prayed to God. I was like, God, I want to leave. I basically moved to Nigeria. I was like, God, I want to leave all of this behind. I want nothing else. I want none of this anymore, because I'm stressed out. I'm tired. I'm financially drained. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And I had been applying for this government certification program through Eagle for almost 3 years, right? And every time they would deny me, and I'm like, this year I said, God, me, apply again. I will not. They cannot. I will not do it again. So I'm in camp, and I was like, God, I don't know what is happening with my life right now, but whatever in my life is stopping me from being who you want me to be, I need you to remove it from my life today. And this is also a thing that be careful what you pray for.
Okay.
The next day I woke up, I had boils all over my body.
Okay.
Face, armpit, everywhere. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Because, like, that's not what
How?
I asked for.
Oh,
Not what the
oh.
prayer
But you know that was the first thing I learned: vanity. I did not realize
Oh, Lord.
how much
Mm-hmm.
I had excused so much in my head by saying, "Well, at least I'm pretty. I'll figure it. I'll get me a nice
Yeah.
little."
Okay.
So the first thing that had to go was my vanity, right?
Okay.
The next thing
Wow. Okay.
was all the money in my account.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody hacked my account. Poof.
No way.
Everything. When I say
Oh, no.
negative thousands,
God forbid. Wow.
credit cards maxed,
Okay.
everything
Mm-hmm.
in a different country. I said, okay, no problem. I said, okay, God.
Sheesh.
I said, okay, we're learning. No problem.
This is
No.
quite a way to learn the lesson.
You know, I was in a
Sheesh.
nice relationship that I
Mhm.
was like, I moved to Nigeria and I was like, okay, yeah, you know, we'll make this work, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
But both stopped calling me.
Ah. Hmm.
I know you're going to watch this because we're friends now, but
At the time.
hi, but both stopped calling. I said, Jesus.
Wait, what's this time frame?
This is all within a week. This is all. I went to church from Friday to Monday.
Okay.
I woke up with boils on my face on a Tuesday.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and then it just kept going. Is there more?
And so that happened. I'm like, okay.
Man.
And I'm still there. I have a car note that's due.
Okay.
But this is how God starts to bless you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I said I did that Yahoo documentary. And I was literally out with my friends that night. And I was like, guys, I need to make $500 tonight. I need to make $500. And in Nigeria, what you are telling people, I need to make $500.
Yeah.
Like, I said, and I told them, I said, I want you guys to watch what believing in God and radical faith looks like. And I said that.
Yeah.
Not even. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I didn't
You
even.
just say it
I was
to
just
say
saying
it.
this to say it because I'm like, God, please,
Something.
I beg. And I literally remember praying. I was like, God,
Yeah.
do not become a liar in my life because
Amen.
if I want to be able to glorify your name in this process, right? And I don't want my shortcoming of faith to cause more problems for me. So I remember that night we're all sitting outside where at this lounge area. And I just get a ding.
Okay.
It's like, Yahoo has paid you.
Hey.
Guess how much they paid me?
How much?
$500.
We love a specific God. We love.
I say, be careful what you pray for. I should have asked for 1,000. I just have to maybe 2 or 3. But you know what I'm saying. But I showed my friends what radical faith looks like, right?
Absolutely.
And so remember, I told you I was applying for the same application. And I wasn't getting it every single year. So I got an email that day, and it was like, "Hey, Erada, we didn't see your application this year." And I was like,
they reached out to you?
Yes.
Wow.
And I said,
"That's amazing."
I said, "Why they whine me? Well, like you want me to apply for this thing again so you can reject me?"
Right. So
I was so confused.
That's
and
funny.
I was like, I emailed them back. I was like, oh, it was like, this is the things that you put in your previous application that actually got you rejected, and we would love for you to fix them.
Wow.
And I said,
that's favor right there. The fact they even told you anything.
yeah, I've never received favor yet. I said, okay, no problem. I did the first draft. I said, hey, Erada, would you mind hopping in a call with us so that we can go through your application with you? Because there are still some things on here that don't seem right. We get on the call, and I'm not even sure how much I'm supposed to be sharing it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But they worked on that application with me.
That's amazing. This is funding.
They worked on the application with me.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't like a secretary of a secretary. This was that emailed me and got on this call and worked this application with me. I was still in Nigeria, and I was like, okay, we just did this process. 2 days or 3 days later, they called me. They were like, hey, Erada, so you're missing something. We're actually reviewing applications tomorrow. Do you think that you can get us this one thing in the next 24 hours? I was like, I said, I said, bros, it's 11 p.m. in Nigeria. Like, you're calling me. It's like 4 or 5 p.m. here.
Okay.
And so I'm just there like, okay. I was like, okay, no problem. And I called one of our partners that, because I needed to get like a partner signature. So I call, to make a long story shorter, I call one of the partners. She just had a baby a week before this.
Okay.
So she wasn't even answering calls.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that she just had a baby.
Okay.
So I called her. I'm like, hey girl, this is what's happening, and I really need your signature.
Yeah.
She said, okay, no problem. We're just leaving the hospital right now with the baby. I got you when I get home.
Huh?
I said, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Truly. She sent it to me.
Wow.
And they got it and they put it in the back end, and then we got into this program.
That's like unheard of.
When I say I asked, because I was ready to be done
that.
with Chibak Project. I was ready to be done with it because it was stressing me. So, like, it was stressing me to the point where there was a time, like, a couple of years, I was very, very skinny. And we're like, oh my God, Erada, you're losing so much weight. You look so good. I was starving.
Okay.
I could not sleep.
Okay.
I was waking up in night sweats.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not what you think it is.
Okay, I was 160 pounds. I was wearing an extra small. Like, I could not eat. I couldn't keep food down.
Okay.
I was going to the hospital. I could not keep food down. Like, which is why I ran to Nigeria. I'm like, this country will not come and kill me.
Amen. Please.
You know? Yes. And so I get all of that, and I really going to Nigeria reignited my faith in God, because I didn't come back to this country. I came back to this country with no money. Okay. I remember laying in the Swiss airport and being like, God, all my accounts are negative. Even if somebody sends me money right now to go buy food, how would I even be able to buy food? Because all my accounts are negative. They would take the money. Yeah. And called on my uncles. I was like, hey, can you... I don't even use PayPal. I was like, can you just PayPal me? Something. Yeah. And then I had somebody else's cash. And then we're doing all of this so I can get something to drink that day, because I was in a layover for 18 hours. I came back to this country and I had nothing to my name. Yeah. The only thing I had was my acceptance letter to this program that I've been trying to get into. Got into this program, got to meet so many great, amazing people. Got to solidify my relationship with my executive director, Jared, because it was a retreat for 3 days. Okay. Presented at this at the they have a pitch competition. Okay. We didn't win first prize, but we won community choice. Okay. Which came with money. Okay. That was able to help us get something else, right? And then they have a big recycling grant that they apply for. I should trust, but I'm saying all this to say, like, Chainback Project for me and my life over the last 2 years, when I say I asked God to take everything away from me, and Baba was serious. Yeah. He took everything. Ooh. And I'm starting over right now from zero. Okay. I've not even gotten to the point where I'm over the negative. Okay. But what I've been telling everyone is I've made 230 under 30 lists the last 2 years for really prestigious things that I never thought I would even get into. I've traveled every single month. This is with no job, no money. But just telling God, I told God, I said, no matter what happens, I'm going to pay my car note every single month. My phone bill will be paid every single month. Okay. I will have a roof over my head. I will come to church every single Sunday that I need to come to church. I will come for every extra program I need to come to. I don't care what party is going on. I don't care. I am not going to compromise what you are doing in my life because of the fact that I want to go outside and I want to be Miss Popular and I want everyone to see me and be this influencer. Like I really had to stop my social life in the last 2 years, almost to a zero in Detroit, because I realized that I was a social butterfly for nothing, for the gratification of nothing. But yeah, let me stop with that tangent.
When I can co-sign so much of what you say in terms of, God, the path that you're taking me on, I didn't expect to be here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable. I'm learning a lot. And I feel like I've had to kind of rebuild in a sense because, am I going on a tangent too?
Ooh, come on, let's tangent. Let's tangent. I love a tangent.
I've had different like career challenges, and I think a lot, or challenges and moves where it's like, so much of my identity was tied in academic success, tied in career success. And when you don't have that anymore, or it's just, it looks different, then what do you do?
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like God has been taking me on a journey of, one, trust me. Know that it's not just by your works. You still have to do work, sure, but like, my grace is what's going to carry you. And you have to be stripped down almost to really understand, like, okay, I'm not just a title. I'm not just my career. Like, it is something where it's like, no, I'm, first of all, a child of God.
Yeah.
Two, like, I know that he's going to take care of me.
Yeah.
I'm about to, am I going to pray that prayer? I might pray that prayer tonight.
You should. You should be ready, though.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm being cautious, because, like, I want to be at a point where it's like, I know the highs are going to come. It's been low for a while. It's been up and down for a while. But it's like, I don't want that next level to be like where I get to, just so I can say, like, oh yeah, I've made it. Yeah. Like, I want it to be meaningful. I want it to be impactful. Sure, I want it to be something that, you know, I feel like is fulfilling. But at the same time, like, you know, what's fulfillment if it's not really going to be truly what God wants for me at this point? So it's, when you said this has happened and this has happened, and I feel like my last year and a half, 2 years has been like that. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
God, when can I get up?
Just a little break.
Like, I've seen your hand throughout. I've seen the grace. I've seen so many, like, different moments to carry me through. But
where's that win?
Where's the win? You know, when you do your big one, God, I know you know what that means.
Yeah,
we've had this conversation.
Yeah,
when is that gonna start?
Honestly, it's truly, and I honestly, God is very, very funny in the ways that He will put you through the fire, right? So that only thing that you have to depend on is Him, right?
Absolutely.
And I remember very vividly last year, I was like, I thought I was coming up from out the water, right? And I was like starting to go out more. I had went out, like, really, I started partying. And that this week I was like, you know what? Let me just take a break from church. Let me just go travel somewhere. Let me go see one of my friends that lived in Ohio. And it was my best friend Jamie's birthday, so we went. I came back to Michigan from Ohio. I had a great weekend, party. I don't even drink, but I drank that weekend, and I came back. And I remember the conviction I felt as soon as I crossed the borders from Ohio back to Michigan. I was like, okay. I said, God, okay. I said, okay. I just said, let me just ignore it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna ignore it. I said, don't worry. I'll come and see you on Sunday. Right. We'll make this right.
We'll make amends.
And I remember after I was doing tree climber, that was the first incident that happened to me that day. I got stuck on the zip line, and I was like, I've been a tree climber so many times. Yeah. Never has happened to me.
Never stuck. Because I've seen it before, and people are just like stuck on it. It's like,
I was okay.
I need help.
I was not, and I was having so much fun too. I was like dancing. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm like, okay. And I remember when I was stuck, I remember a voice really, really vividly. It was like, I hope you're ready. Ooh. And I was just like, I was like, no problem. I said, no problem.
Yeah.
A couple of days before that, I got into this girl sideswiped me and ran me off the freeway.
Oh my God.
So I was like, okay. So nothing happened to me. My car was a little dinged up. And that day I remember hearing, I hope you're ready.
Okay.
So I was like, I said no problem.
Yeah.
So that as I was going, I came back home after tree runner, had a great day. Cool. I was like going now to my friend Orlando's birthday party that day. As I got off, not even 5 minutes from my house, I'm just in my freeway like, listen to my Afrobeats, like, da, 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 da. Yeah. Just saw somebody's big tire bouncing, and ran into me, sent me sliding to one side of the freeway, other side of the freeway. My car totaled that day. Lost my car.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Lost my car. Almost
Yeah.
like would have lost my
But
life.
yeah. Did you walk away like?
I walked away shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Till today, I still have knee pain from it, but I didn't realize that it was from that until probably a couple of months ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I lost like pretty much everything that day,
Okay.
and it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy because
Yeah. Like, I'm paying attention now, guys. I'm listening.
you know what I'm saying. And I remember
Yeah.
everybody used to ask me like, "Oh, I don't see you anymore. You don't come out anymore." Da da da. And I remember I was like, yeah. I said, I know they fear. I know they fear what's happening to me. Like
Man.
people, so many, and because I have such a natural happy disposition. So many people don't know what happens to me, right?
Yeah.
And the battles that I'm actually going through. That's why
For
they
sure.
say when someone commits, right? People will be like, they were such a happy person. I never you never know the battles someone is secretly fighting. You never
don't.
know the sleepless nights, the battles that I am fighting even still now currently. If we were to sit down and have this conversation fully, I promise you by the end of it you'll be asking me like, how are you still smiling?
Yeah.
The things that God has put me through, and I refuse to say it's the devil, because if it was the devil, I would have been dead. The things that God has put me through in order to break my independence on self,
Ooh. Ooh.
the things that God has
Wow.
put me through to reshape my entire identity,
Yeah.
not only my trust in him, but also my faith, to reignite my faith, my understanding. And it's not even like a go to church, but it's more so I need you to know what it looks like when you only have Erada to depend on. And I have seen what that looks like. I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
I know what it was like when I was making all this money, being everywhere. Everybody like, oh yeah, Erada's the socialite, Erada's da 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 da. I know what I was going through then. I was so depressed. I was sorry, I was addicted to so many substances, and so many people didn't know that, right?
Okay.
But now I'm in this place and I'm like, God, I don't have a doubt. And again, I've never been this vulnerable with
Yeah.
a soul. So
Thank you for sharing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I was talking to my friend, and I'm like, you know what? I have never had so little money in my life where every day I'm just like, ha, this entrepreneurship thing is hard. Right? My mom and my dad every day are like, are you sure? you are a soft girl, or you like nice things.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I have
Yeah.
never traveled more in the last 2 years. I haven't had as many experiences. I have not had as much joy as I have
Wow.
felt in the last 2 years in my entire life.
You are saying a word, and it's almost scary. Like
It's
how
very scary.
scary, like how just even similar my story is right now, and it's just like, what's going on?
Like,
what's going on?
I'm the person that
Wow.
people call for a loan. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, I was going through a bunch of like financial hits at one time. And I was like, dang, I don't even know who I can call for $20 right now.
Okay.
And I'm only sharing this because I know that this is my story is going to help someone.
Absolutely.
And I've honestly told myself, and I'm gonna cry, but I've told myself in the last couple of weeks that I refuse to keep lying about where I'm at in order to save face for people who will not be there with me on Judgment Day.
Absolutely.
I refuse to keep telling everyone, people keep asking me, are you okay? I refuse to keep saying, yeah, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm great, for people who literally could be my helper. Like,
Yeah.
I will not use my mouth to block me from a blessing because I'm so stuck in another blessing that is already completed.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah.
You know? So I'm being
That is
very
word.
honest. I'm emailing people. I'm telling my friends, like, Yeah, you want to go? I ain't got no, I ain't got no money, y'all. I'm so sorry. And it's not. I've applied. I've never applied for a job, interviewed for a job before. In transparency,
Okay.
I've applied for so many jobs and got no replies. And when people used to be like, job market is hot, I say, hey, how is he hot? I'm sure what a number. Like I thought I used to think like, all I need to do is graduate. Once I graduate, the job is gonna be rolling in because my resume is stacked. Like, ooh, girl, this is nice. And now I'm like, Jesus, resume. Should I start doing nails? Let me. I can't braid though. I can't do this. I can't do.
And it's like usually before it's like if I see a cover letter like that I have to like require. That's required. I'm not applying to that. I have prepared so many different cover letters. Like I will do the cover letter. I'll send you letters of recommendation because it's
people email people.
Nothing.
Somebody, and the thing is. But I also know that the reason why it's not happening is because God wants me to keep focusing on Chip Back Project. And I know that's what it is. Yeah. And I know that's what it is. And I'm saying this again for the third time. And I know that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it is so hard to go from a person who pays everyone's bills to trying to figure out how you're going to pay yours. And I don't look like it, right? And it's also very hard to tell people you down and out when you don't look like it. And I don't know how to make myself look. I'm not broke in Jesus' name, but I don't know how to make myself look like I don't have it, right? I don't know how. I'm always gonna look good. I'm going to stay for my nails. I do my own nails. I learned how to do my own nails.
And okay.
You get what I'm saying? Hey, like, yeah. I figured these things out, right? Even in dating, like the honesty, like I was in a 10-year relationship.
Okay.
I'm just been single over the last 2 years. I don't know how to do none of this stuff.
Girl, none of us apparently does either.
So you just try. So we're trying to figure out. So I'm in this space of radical dependence on God.
Yeah.
But also, for the first time ever, I know that He wants me to be consistent in something. He wants me to consistently work at something. He wants me to not only put all the skills that I have into something. I know that the things that I have been through in my life, I know I'm supposed to share it. I wrote a book about me being an SA survivor because that's something that Nigerian women don't talk about, or Nigerians, Africans in general don't talk about. And I talked about it in very grave detail. And this is something that happened for years and years and years and years, and that saved a little girl's life. And I knew that if there's only one person to save, that's worth it, right?
Absolutely.
And so I know that every single thing that I'm going through in my life, I know that every single thing that is happening to me, everything that I'm experiencing is for me to share it and talk about it and be honest about it. But it's the hardest.
Absolutely.
This is the hardest season of my life. And this is the hardest season of my life. And I would not wish where I'm at on anyone, but I would not change it for the world.
Yeah. It's like a wilderness experience.
Yeah.
Like getting I think one of my bishops used to say, getting Egypt out of you. So that when you do get to that promised land, like you're not thinking of, oh man, let me go back to what I know.
I don't want to be the Israelites.
You know, let me go back to what I know. Let me get to, whatever.
Ooh,
what I was comfortable, was familiar. But it's like, no, like you're going to get there, but there's some things that needs to come out off of you and out of you so you can really stand in that next level. So you already know this, but I just encourage you to keep going. Like, I don't even know if you know how to stop. You know how to stop? That's the thing. Like,
I don't, and I don't know how to stop. I don't want to stop. And I'm not going to. Is it hard? I am a person who, like I was telling you before, like before this time, I was addicted to so many different substances, and I was going through like depression, even though like my life was lit.
Yeah.
I was so depressed.
Yeah.
I was I would tell people like every year I would probably attempt maybe 3 or 4 times, like while I'm in like the best time of my life, right? Last couple of years I haven't even, it's not even been a thought in my head, right? And so I'm not getting out of here because I'm so, the anticipation for the testimony, and to be very honest, this is my testimony. And now what happens after this, but this right now is my testimony. And this is not the testimony that people normally look as a testimony, but this really is, because in order to have this much of a radical faith in God, that God is going to do something different, that is a testimony if I've ever heard one. To the things that I have gone through, my pastor wanted me to like do this whole thing and share to all the youth during Christmas about like what my life is becoming right now. And I was like, I'm too ashamed to talk about this.
So I had feel to like you, like the testimony is.
I didn't then. Now,
okay.
That's why I'm so comfortable to share right now. I would have never shared anything like this a couple of months ago, but I really believe that this is what the testimony is. It is, what does it look like? How do you keep smiling when everything around you is breaking down? How do you keep waking up in the morning when it feels as if you have a semi truck on top of your body holding you down? What does it look like to walk freely when you have chains holding you? Like, what does it look like to be able to dance like David danced, and laugh, dance like David danced when you have no legs and no arms? Like, what does it look like when the only thing that is motivating you and moving you is your radical faith in God? That is it. And that is what I am doing. And like, I wore this shirt today, and I bought this shirt specifically. One, shout out to John Genius for the shirt. First, you know, they call you crazy and you're genius. Because if I tell people what I'm going through, they'll be like, sis, don't good. What's he lawyer has left you? But I know that this is what geniuses look like. This is what geniuses look like before everyone realized they're a genius.
That's it.
Right? And
because people, it's hard to say, like, I always like hear those stories of people who didn't have nothing from a point, and then now they're like a multi-million-dollar company, or maybe not even that, but they're just so successful. But it's like there was a point where they were like destitute. Like it's like, how do you keep going and going through that to then now get to the other side? That's always been a question, like how people survive those tumultuous years.
There's this documentary I just watched, not a documentary, it's a movie about this Asian man who made the most popular seaweed chip company in, I think it's in Taiwan, I can't remember, but his whole family were like, go get a job. His dad didn't have a job. They were all going to move to China to go work and stuff like that with his brothers. And he basically was like, okay, he started selling roasted cashews in the mall. And then while he was selling roasted cashews, it was doing really good, and then it started to like burn the facility a little bit, so they kicked him out. And then he was trying to make seaweed, and then something else happened, and like he was going through all of this. He was homeless, and then when he finally made the seaweed, it was like he took it up to all these companies, and everybody was like, no, the packaging sucks, so you have to go back and do packaging. And he was going through all of these things while he was homeless, didn't have any food, didn't have anything, like, and he one day is now one of the youngest billionaires in the snack food, like it really only takes that one. And I know, and I've told my parents, my mom was like, just go do nursing, I'm like, I could do it. I'm smart, I get it, I could do it, but what would I be losing if I go do that? And it might not seem like that, and then all they want from me is stability. But I told my mom yesterday, I said, I believe what I'm working on is going to be stability,
Yeah.
not only for me, but for a next generation of people coming in, where they'll be like, hey, you need to go learn from Erada. You need to go see what Erada is doing, because that's who you can become. Like the way people talk about Steve Jobs and Jeff Bezos and even Oprah Winfrey and all these other people, I know that in the next 20 years, even 10 years, you know, I believe in you.
Okay.
In the next 10 years, I will be part of that conversation.
Absolutely.
Because I really, truly believe that this is my testimony, and what we're all going to see later from now is just going to be the aftermath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Child, you said so much that just truly resonates with me and encourages me. I'm gonna be watching this episode multiple times because there's just so many gems and there's so many real life experiences, even with other friends of mine, that we're all going through this weird time that it's like, I gotta understand that, you know, you are taking me through this you know, Job season or wilderness season. And it's like people that you don't necessarily expect would have gone through this, but it's like, no, he's working something. He's working with something, and he knows what he's doing, and it's going to be an amazing story through the time. And of course, like you said, that's after. And I love that you said it. I never really thought of, like, the testimony like that, like the testimony of in it. This is in it. This is the testimony. The after is just. Because the after.
Like you just said, Job. Like, think about it. When we talk about Job, do we talk about the after? We talk about the testimony of Job is exactly the situation that he went through, right? The fact that he lost his family, he lost his wealth, he lost his health, and during that moment he was still giving thanks to God. And what was that is the testimony. So why is it that as people we have diminished that and said the testimony is after you've gone through the struggle, not the struggle itself?
Girl, we about to get on a whole.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Be a sermon, okay?
So
this
and that's actually one of my things that God ministered to me. I preached a couple of years ago in my church, and from that, my pastor was like, you know, you're going to be a preacher, and I was like, I said, Daddy, God. Let's breathe.
Don't deny
it. But you know, but lately I've been having these very vivid sermons come to my head and using all my personal experiences, because the only thing I can do is talk from my personal experience. And this is one of the things that I want to talk to people about is this Job season is your testimony. Like, especially as Africans, right? Our parents come here, and it's no fault to them. They want us to have the best experience. They want to feel as if all the things that they have done is actually going to amount to something, right?
Yeah.
But what we have to realize is when they were in Africa and they were telling people they wanted to leave, people called them crazy.
That is true.
People called them crazy. When they now came here and they're not doing this, brother, send me 20, send me 30, send me 40.
Yeah.
That became the testimony, right?
Yeah.
But what our parents don't want us to do is go through the same struggle. But we don't have to. I'm not going through the same struggle as my parents. I'm going through my own version of struggle. But the difference between my parents and me is the fact that the struggle I'm going through, I have them.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful to my mom and my dad.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Shout out to parents. Oh, Jesus.
Each and every step
Stella
of the way.
Jones.
David, I need for my you.
Showed
out for
the
me.
way I'm going to buy you an island.
The whole island.
And the way I'm.
Man.
I will not be sitting here being able to smile, being able to know that when I get home I have food in my fridge, I have a roof over I have a car. If not for Stella and Jones Oleita. And I love you, Stells. We're not always the best, but you are my mom and I love you like nothing. I love my dad. My dad is amazing. And I'm very, very, very lucky to have them, because how many African parents can let you not only like explore your dreams, but also push you My dad is always telling me all the time. He's like, you need to be making content.
Okay.
You need to be making content.
Yeah.
Every day I'm watching other people's content and I'm sitting there like, my child can make this content. Literally every day my dad is sending me something. He's like, are you seeing your mates? Are you seeing your mates?
Yeah.
He said, you're making skits. You are in the house skitting yourself. Yes. I'm just
He
like,
sees the vision.
you know,
and
yes,
he
sees it for me. And my dad's a pastor now.
Okay.
And my dad's honestly, I might do a podcast with my dad because
that's amazing.
because honestly, truly, because my dad's life is, whew,
yeah.
if you want to hear a story,
okay,
of God,
yeah,
I believe in God more now because of my dad becoming a pastor. Somebody had told me that my father would become a pastor. I would have been looking at them like, weird.
Do you know who?
Are you talking my own father? Area boy, area champion. Abero number 1. What do you mean? No, never. But that man, God has done a number in his life, and has also just made him a shining beacon of understanding and of what faith looks like. My dad goes through stuff.
Yeah.
He goes through stuff as a man that I know would have taken some men out of here, but he still smiles, he dances. He was talking about it today. He was like, no matter what I'm going through, even when I used to go to the club, I'll leave at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and I'm coming home. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm worried. I leave church at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I come home and I have nothing but energy. Okay. And I'm like, honestly, truly, and I noticed the same thing about myself. I will be at the club. Any of my friends tell you, 5 minutes and we go anywhere. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm bored out of my mind. I don't care what we're doing. I'm bored. I can be at church till 4 o'clock in the morning and not yawn once.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a different type of, like,
different.
it's like, it's nourishing your soul. Yeah. Like, it truly is. Like, it's edification.
You. Yes, it's feeding you. Yeah, let's it's gonna a different question. I don't even know what else to talk about. This was good.
Honestly, this was exactly what I needed because, and I know it's gonna resonate with so many people here. I know so many of my friends, like, these are the conversations we have where it's just like, I know God's doing something.
I can
feel it currently, but there's something that I'm getting over. Even my church, we've been talking about, like, just be expectant of the suddenly. Like, God is working for that, and also He's working. He's working so much into us and out of us. So I know so many people are going to resonate with this. Comment, share this, and really
make sure you share it.
Make sure you share it, and really make sure you take time to even think about what that looks like for you. Because maybe this is the best season of your life, but maybe you will go through something like this similarly. You can refer back to this
or someone who's going through something.
Like, you can reach out. Like I said, I've had conversations like this with my friends so many times, and it's just like, wow, like, because so many people are going through this, I know there's something happening right now. It's evident. So thank you for adding to the conversation. It just as more evidence of God's work.
I know we sent questions that were completely different from our conversation. And when I told you, like, our conversation would just flow how it's supposed to.
Absolutely.
Because I believe that really God always puts me in a position to say what I'm supposed to say at the right time, even when it feels the most uncomfortable. And I knew as I was walking in here today, I said, I'm going to spill things that I should not be spilling. But I know that this was necessary. So thank you for creating, giving this space and being so warm and inviting to make me feel comfortable enough to share things that some of my friends probably going to watch this and be like, I know you're going through that. Yeah.
Thank you again for coming and sharing. Just so we can just circle back to the chip bag project. What's something that people can look forward to in the coming months?
Yeah, so something that we have that's really exciting. We are partnering with Eagle and the state of Michigan to launch a chip bag project collection kiosk pilot, I guess is that what we call it, where basically you, if you go to select grocery stores and businesses, you'll be able to drop off your chip bags more easily.
Oh,
As
nice.
well as also being able to purchase some of our items at select stores as well. This is a pilot program that's going to start in the southeastern Michigan within the next couple of months, and
Ooh.
by the grace of God, grow into something that will be all around the Midwest and then all around the United States and then,
International.
international, baby.
Hmm.
I'm already talks with Nigeria, so
Oh, awesome.
let's see.
I listen, just more community, more growth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What you was talking about with being vulnerable. Let's go. We're circling back even to Simi, having the strength, but also having the softness of it all. It's like you keep going. You share where you need help. You share where, you want to just enjoy life and you want to be in a space where there is abundance and thriving. But also know there's sometimes you got to put in some work.
Yeah.
So it can be, it's a duality. You can be in it in different phases and in different times. So having it all work together, and I'm excited for it to continue to work together.
Me too.
Yes.
Everything works out for my good in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes.
So I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast episode.
I did.
I surely did. It was everything that it needed to be. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
There's going to be so many more episodes like this where we just talk about really real things. It's not just the professional aspect. It's the human aspect. It's the connection. So make sure you continue to support Erada. I think you just need to follow her specifically because she's so dynamic. She's doing so many different things. Of course, follow the Chip Bag project on Instagram,
On Twitter, every social media platform. Follow us. Everyone.
Follow.
And go on our website, chipbackproject.com.org.net, and everything variation between.
Do it, okay?
Yeah.
So I hope to see you comment. Hope to see you share, subscribe, all the things. And I definitely hope to see you on the next episode of YPAC.